Okay, let's go through the fabrics that we're gonna use for this pattern. So I'm using an outdoor fabric. I got my fabric in Hobby Lobby. Now that Joanne is not in the area, I'm stressing out a little bit because I like to look at the fabric. I like to feel it before I buy it. I may have to start buying online, but for now, I got this on my neighborhood, and it's an outdoor fabric. So I really like the color. I like that blue tone with the brown. It just made me really happy, so I got it. And the pink, it just matches really pretty. So this is a Kona fabric. This is a Kona cotton, and I put a interfacing on the back. So for the pocket, I want you to have two lining pieces, both of them interface, and into main fabric with the to main fabric. I am using my outdoor fabric because I want to use this bag as a little sports bag to go to the gym. So I'm excited about that, how my bag is going to look. And these pieces are going to be 8 inches in width and 5 3/4 inch in height. Okay. For the side piece, and this is going to be the side of the bag, we are going to bind this bag, so there's going to be some binding involved. That's why I have my binding. We're going to talk about it in a little bit. And we are going to make this one piece together. So we are going to have an 8 by 8 piece and a square 8 by 8, and then we're going to cut from there. Okay. With that being said, that's going to be, we're going to have a main fabric, 2 main fabrics, and 2 linings, and that each lining is going to have its own interfacing. Okay, so that's that. For that piece, we are going to need a binding, and I have my numbers here, so let me get it. I am going to have a binding, and my binding is going to be 35.5 inches in length, and I'm going to have a 2-inch width binding. Okay, I made 2 to make sure I have one for one side, one for the other. So we're going to need 2 of those, and I'm doing it on the color to match the lining piece. Okay. Inside I'm going to put a little pocket, and this pocket I have to interface. I just put the piece there, but I didn't interface it. And I'm also going to put my tag in the middle. I'm going to actually put it like that. I'm excited about that. This pocket, where's my pocket piece? Oh, inside pocket, here it is. So the inside pocket is going to be 4 inches in height and 6.5 inches in width. So 4 inches in height, 6.5 in width. And this goes together. I kind of made it a little bigger, but it's fine. It's just an inside pocket. So I can see why I actually didn't make it too big, because I am going to be cutting off this side. Because as you can see, that's the border of the fabric, and I don't want that, so I made it like that. So if I look at the size, it's actually, because I'm going to be cutting off that piece, so it is actually perfect for what I want. Remember that this is a bag that I made out of just the thoughts of what I want to do with it. So if you are a new sewer, this is a nice pattern to learn how to make your bags. This is just a pattern that I put together with squares just to kind of create a bag. And the one piece is that one round side because I wanted to give it a little character. Okay. So it just kind of, my goal is to help you learn how to sew. Okay. So with that being said, this is going to be the bottom, and the bottom is going to be 16.5 inch by 8 in height and 16.5 in width. For the bottom, I'm only going to cut one piece on that size, okay? And that's going to be my outside color. I'm going to show you how I'm going to do the lining for this. It's going to be a little bit different, and I'm actually very excited on the way I'm doing it because it's going to be less steps and a little faster sewing. So hopefully that works out the way I'm thinking. So that's the bottom. Then I have the sides of the bag, and here you can see my sides, and I'm going to have two main pieces. As main pieces are going to be, so as you can see, I have 16 and a half inches in length total and 9.5 inches in height. Okay, let me move this one over. When it comes to the straps, I'm going to have 4 inches, and this webbing is 1.5 inch in width, and the color is really, really pretty. It's like a celluloid, I think. So pretty. So I'm going to have one piece that is 4 inches, and I'll show you how I'm going to use that. And that's going to be more for the side. We are going to be working that piece with this one. Okay, so it's going to be more like there. Okay. And then we're also going to have the longer piece that is going to be 43, I believe this one is 43 inches in length. Let me see. So I have, yeah, this is 43. So we're going to have one that is 43 inches in length. Okay. And this one is the one that is going to go around the whole bag. This is my shoulder strap. Okay. So this is, I'm going to put it together because this is to create the shoulder strap. And then I am going to have, now for those straps, especially for the one on this side, you are going to need a connector. So let me go ahead and get that. This is the size that I'm looking for. So I am going to need maybe one this size. Oh, perfect size. Okay. Let me make sure. So that's when we make this strap. I just want to make sure the size is okay. Yeah. That looks good. So that I'm going to leave it there. So I know that goes with that. And then I'm going to have one that is going to be just a straight one. Let me see. So I want to match it to that. So I'm thinking I could have this to match with the color, just to match nicely. So this is going to come like here, like this. Okay. So I wanted it square, so I may have to do it with this. Let me see. That doesn't go. Does not go. So because I don't have one that is a full piece, I think I'm going to have to do this one and just allow the creativity to flow. So I'll put that there and the other one up here. And that would be great. So it looks like that's how it's going to be. So we're going to do that because I don't have, I would love to have an open one, but I don't have it. I only have it in other color. And then I think I have one like that, but it's too big. So, okay, moving on from that. So I'm going to keep this together so you can see. And these straps, I really like the color, how it comes together. So, yay, I'm excited about that. Okay. Let's put that there. And this is the lining. And for the lining, this was my pattern that I made. And let's see what I wrote. So I'm going to cut 2, and it's a 16 3/4 by 14. Okay, 16 3/4 by 14. And I'm going to cut 2, and I'm also cutting some interfacing that I'm putting on it as well. Okay, so we are ready. Oh, wait, we're missing. So we're also going to have a zipper pull that I have there. So let me move this one over. And things additional that I need a zipper tape. And this one is going to be 17 inches in length. I need a zipper pull that I'm going to use to match as well. So that's going to be together. Okay, so we're going to hold it together. And some other things that I'm going to do is that I'm going to have some masking tape, because I use the masking tape to hold my tag in the back, on the back, to hold the stitching. I want to make sure it stays nice and put, and it cannot be pulled out, and it looks nice. And then I'm also going to have a pin cushion with pins, and I do have my little cutter and clips on the side. And I have a pencil because we are going to mark that one pattern, and I want you to have a ruler as well. And I have 12 inches on my ruler. I think that should be enough for what we're going to do. Okay, so we have gone through all the pieces. The next thing I want to do, I want you to get a piece of paper that is going to be at least an 8 by 8, so we can be able to make the pattern of the side together. And then we move on from there. All the other pieces of the pattern are going to be on the description, so feel free to make your pieces, and then let's start with the sewing of the pattern. So I'll see you in a minute. So my paper, it's going to be 10 inches in height and 8 inches in width, but I'm going to, and I can cut it at 9.5. I'm going to do 9.5. So I'm going to take out a 1/2 inch of this paper. I mean, you can cut it at 9.5. And I will make that annotation on the pattern. Okay, so I'm going to do 9.5 in height and 8 in width. Okay, once I do that, I'm going to go ahead and take my ruler, and I'm going to measure up 6 inches, and I'm going to make a mark at my 6 inches, and I'm going to do the same in the other side. I'm going to make a little mark at my 6 inches. Then I want you to take something round but big. Notice that this is not big enough. So when I mean big enough, it doesn't go from side to side. I'm going to use my mouse pad to do that. So before I do that, I'm going to fold it in half. And now I have my center mark. And I can even put it with a pencil. So I'm going to put my little round piece, and I'm going to go from the 6-inch mark to the point at the middle mark. And I am going to do the same to the other side. I'm going to tell you honestly, one thing, I got this mouse pad, it's round, and I absolutely love it because not just I use it for the computer, but I use it to make all my round corners that are bigger. You could use a round ruler. That would be absolutely amazing. I just don't have one, so I go ahead and I use my mouse pad. And then you're going to go ahead and cut. Nice and easy. And then you continue to cut. Nice and easy. Okay. I am going to fold it just to make sure everything matches well. Oh, that was a beautiful cut. Okay. Nice. Okay. Very nice. And I am going to make a mark for your pattern. So see, in my pattern, I went ahead and I put 2 inches. Yeah. I went ahead and I went down 2 inches right from the middle mark that you already have labeled. So I'm going to go make a mark at 2 inches. And I know my webbing is 1.5 inches in width. So I'm going to go ahead and divide it at the 1 mark. So that's 1/2 and 1/2 and 1/4 and 1/4, and that's 1/2 inch. So it's 3/4 to the sides. So, and if it helps you, you can go ahead and get your webbing and see how it matches perfectly. Okay, so what I'm going to do is that I'm going to go 2 inches down from the middle. I'm going to do the center of the webbing, and then I'm going to bring it down, and you can go ahead and put a mark there in one corner and the other corner. So I'm putting a mark in this corner and this corner, and then I'm going to take my ruler and match those 2 little corners. Okay, simple. And therefore you know exactly where your this one is going to end, and this is from the top to that point. That is a 2 inches in height, and this is a total of a 1.5 inches because that is the size of the webbing. Okay, so I'm going to bring it nice and close so you can see it, so you can see there, because that's going to be where you're going to do your there you go. Okay, good. So we did that. I already have mine, so I'm going to close that. Okay. So now we're going to go ahead and get to sewing. So the first thing that I want to do is that I want to do the side of the bag so I can get it prepared. Okay, so let's start with the small pocket. So I'm going to put my pieces like that, the way that I'm going to be doing them. That's going to require a strap, and this is going to require this. So let's put this one on the side, and then we are going to start with this piece. So we are going to start with the pocket, the pocket that goes in front of the side of the bag. So I have 2 fronts and I have 2 pockets. So that's for the inside. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to go ahead and turn my outside fabric over. And then I'm going to go ahead and place this one on top. Okay. And we are going to take a little turn on the top, and then we're going to fold it. And I want you to do just a little bit. So it's going to be like a double turn. You're just going to do like a little one, and then you're going to do one more. Okay. So you're creating a little border up there. This is going to be the inside, but I want to make sure that border is not seen. And then, so I want you to go ahead in the iron and do 2. So you do one little flap down, and then you turn it over, and then do a second one. Okay, so go ahead and do that with your iron, and then we carry on. We're going to do that with both pieces. So I went ahead and pinned it on the back, and then one of the things is that I'm going to see, I turn it, and I'm going to be sewing across, but I put it one on top of the other. These are little side pockets, and I'm just going to clean the excess here. I'm going to put them one on top of the other just so they can match, and it's okay if they're not, you're losing just a tiny bit out of it, but I just want them to be even. so my pockets are sitting good. I'm gonna go into the machine. Onto the machine, I'm gonna sew across, then I'm gonna sew down, over and over. And yes, I'm gonna have that border like that because we're gonna be binding this whole thing together. Okay, so go ahead and do that. Yeah, and then come back. So for this project, I am using my I'm using my domestic machine. I'm going to use my pink thread, and I'm using a white bobbin. Okay, let's go ahead and sew. And I am going to sew at 1/4 of an inch. Here we go. And that looks beautiful. Okay, that looks really pretty. Okay, and now I'm going to do the other side. Put some extra light there. So I wasn't paying attention on my 1/4 inch when somewhere else. Oh, it's okay. What was I thinking? There you go. And that's what happened when you're not paying attention. See, my line just went somewhere else. So that doesn't look nice. I don't like it. I'll fix it. So I don't like that line. I'm gonna go ahead and get my scissors. And I have these tiny little scissors. They're more like embroidery scissors. But I'm gonna open that stitching because I'm gonna do it again, that right there. It didn't even catch underneath, so it's no good. So I'm just gonna open it. And I wanna show you that because you know what? It's not about when you sew, it's not gonna come perfect the first time. I mean, maybe it will, I don't know. Never happens to me. There's always something, right? That's right, it's okay. I'm okay with that because this makes me happy. So it's okay. What makes you happy, right? Just open it a little bit. Let me just go ahead and sew across. Okay, that's fine. So there it is. I'm gonna be okay with it. It's just a little top of the pocket, and this bag is for me. If it was for selling or for somebody else, definitely not leaving that there. But later on, with a lot of patience, I'm gonna go ahead and take the upper thread that I sewed there. I'm gonna take it out. But I'll do that a little later. It's okay. Okay. Let's go ahead and get the round piece that we made, which is the sides. I want you to get your lining for the round and your 2 round pieces, okay? And then also get your straps that we have done, the long one, the 43-inch packet, little packet. Okay, so let's go ahead and put this strap together. This is going to be the strap that is going to go from one side of the bag to the other. The first thing that I do is that I want to make sure I have frayed the ends of my webbing to make sure that the webbing is not going to fray. I'm still going to fold it at the end, but I still don't want it to fray. I don't know, I just want it to look the best possible. I think it's a nice thing to do. Okay, so you're going to have 3 pieces. If you do have 2 that don't have the line in the middle, those will be great. I just don't have the right size and color, and because I don't have the right size and color, I'm going to use this one. The one that I'm talking about looks like this. I'm going to show you. It's not on this one, it's on that one. I'll show you. So the one that I'm talking about, not like that, like this. So it looks like this, but I don't think that it matches this black and this light chrome. And so I don't have 2 on this color, on this particular color. I just have it on the black, on the chrome. I only have this. So therefore, I'm going to substitute this for this 2, okay? And I need 2. So this one is gone, but if you do have it, or if you don't care about the color match and you find it to be okay, then I would use 2 of this because it will be a better choice, okay? With that being said, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take these 2 loops, and then I'm going to pass them through the middle of this loop, being that it is there. So I'm going to take it through the center, and then I'm going to go over and through, and then they should be sitting in the middle, okay? And what I'm going to do here at the end is that I am going to bring it down just about a 1/2 inch down, and then I'm going to fold that over, so just a little bit, and I'm going to hold it in place. There we go. And I'm going to do that, both hold it with 2 clips because this is strong webbing. This is like heavy duty webbing, so it's a little hard to turn. And it should look like that, like a little sandwich. So just make sure the one layer is completely through, so it's not going to come off, okay? And then I'm going to do the same to the other one. I'm going to go in and over and through the middle, okay? And then I'm going to leave that little bit of a 1/2 inch over, okay? You see it there. And then I'm going to go ahead and go over. There we go. and I'm gonna hold it in place. That is the way I want to fold it, so that way I don't create too much bulk. So this is a nice way to, you still have a nice fold, you're hiding that seam a little bit, but you don't have too much bulk when putting it through your machine, especially if you're using a domestic machine. If you are using your commercial machine, you can always do a double fold that makes it, hides everything. But I'm using my domestic machine and I don't like to abuse my machine. So that should look like that. Let's leave it there because it's going to be prepped for sewing. Okay. And what I'm going to do now is that I'm going to take, did I cut it? Oh, I did. So I'm going to almost put it side by side so it gives me a visual. I'm a visual person, so I need to see things so I can do them correctly. And I'm going to put this one in the middle. So what's going to happen next is that I'm going to bring this one in through the center also. Okay. And I'm going to bring that one through the center, and then I'm going to now fold it over. So I have that's about 1.5 inches right there, almost 2 inches. Let's see. Yep, exactly 2 inches. And now I'm going to go ahead and like fold a little bit that in. There you go. Like I said, this is heavy duty webbing, so, and I have missing 2 fingers, so it's a little hard sometimes, but I got it. And then I'm going to go ahead and pinch it right there. And then I'm going to do the same to the other side. I just want to make sure it's in line. Okay, here we go. Perfect. So now that I have that, I'm just going to lay it down. I am going to be sewing through there, but let's go ahead and get it through one of these. So I'm going to go through the top one. Make sure your hardware looks up because that's like the bottom of the hardware. Just turn it over and it's looking up. Make sure your strap is aligned, looking up too as well. Okay, so that's doing that. And I'm going to go ahead and take that one through and up and see how it just holds one. Okay, so I'm going to take it over. And I'm not going to pass it through yet, this one, because I do need to sew here, but we are going to be passing it through here. I'm just going to show you how it's going to look. And then you're going to pass it through here. Ah, look at that pretty strap. And then we're going to go, and now you can pull it, make it longer, make it shorter, whatever you want. But then at the end, I am going to go ahead and actually I'm going to go down with it so I can close it underneath. So I'm going to go here and I am going to go ahead and take again my 1 inch, my 1/2 inch fold, and this is going to be coming here. Okay, so this one is going to be set in place like that. Okay, so that's going to be set in place, and this one is the one that is going to make my bag, my shoulder strap a little shorter, or it's going to make my shoulder strap quite a bit longer. Okay, so with that being said, the only one, I mean, I could easily just open that like that and move it so I don't have to lose my placement and make sure everything is sitting where it needs to sit. So I could actually just do that and sew it. So let's do that so that way we can always see it and see how it ends. Okay, so it should look like that, and that's a beautiful, beautiful strap. So yay. Okay, let's go ahead to the machine. I did change my thread to 100% polyester, because of this webbing, and I put it in Silurium color, and I also did a new bobbing with Silurium color, so everything matches so pretty. Okay, for this strap. Okay, we'll go to the machine now. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and sew the straps. And like I show you, I have a blue in there and I have the same one up here. It's really pretty. So I had sandwiched these pieces in. And I'm gonna go ahead and take just one clip out and place it there and go. And it doesn't really have room to fit, so I'm going to take it off and do another line. Okay, a little bit higher up. And because we didn't bulk it so much, it actually sews really nicely. Okay, that looks really nice. Okay. And so that's that piece. Let's go to the piece in between. So I'm going to move this one over. And I like to sew from this side, so I'm going to do this. And this is shifting it a little bit, so I'm going to actually take it off and hold it. There you go, so it can be straight. And again, I'm going to do 2 lines. And I could technically turn here, just so I can make a box. Let's see. Oh, this is going to be tricky. Okay. Oh, that didn't cut. Okay, so that did really good there. So I'm gonna say go ahead and get a lighter. I like to like fray that thread there. So I can like pretty much secure it really nicely. Okay. And I'm gonna do the same on the one that I already sewed. Okay, very nice. And now I have one more to go. Okay, which is the end piece. Actually, 2 more. So I think I'm going to do 2 lines better, just like I did the first one. It sewed really nicely. don't know why that didn't cut, but let's just cut it. I don't know what happened there. I got all bunched up. Okay, and the last one. Do the last end, and then this will be done. Huh, did the same thing. I'm just gonna take the bobbing out. Let me see. No, it's fine. It's fine. No, it's not cutting for some reason. I don't know if it's a thread or what. Okay, I'll figure it out. So I'm just gonna seal that whole thing. There you go. Okay, so our strap is finished and it looks really nice. It looks nice. We have the end, we have the other end, and then we have the strap that we can actually make it bigger or smaller. Okay, that's the smallest version of it, and then that's the biggest size. Okay, so I'm excited. I'm gonna go ahead and take you to the table so we can continue on with the next piece. So we finished the strap. I'm just gonna put it on the side for now, and we'll finish that piece later. So right now I'm going to put it to the side. Okay, so what we're going to do next, it's going to be the pocket that goes on the panel. So this is one of our inside panels, and we are going to be putting that pocket in there. So the first thing that we do have to get done is to put the interfacing on the piece. So I'm going to open my zipper, my pocket. Okay, and what I'm going to do is that I'm going to put that interfacing in there. I'm going to iron it nicely. Okay, and it's just going to be like on the half, and we are going to iron it nicely. Because my tag is an iron on, it is also a sew in. I'm going to place it here in the center. I do want to iron it on so it can be nice and in the center, and I am going to stitch it also because I don't want it to come off. And then after I have done that, then we are going to close the pocket. Okay, so let's come back in a minute. I'm going to go ahead and iron it. Okay, so I put my interfacing on the back. I am going to lift this flap up, just keeping the interfacing on the one side up, And when I was ironing, I went ahead and I folded in half, and I kind of put a little bit of a press on the top just so I can mark a center. With that mark on the center, I am going to go ahead and put my tag, and I'm just going to trim it just a little bit. There you go. Just so it can look even. I make these tags myself, so I want to make sure they look nice. Okay. And now that I have the center there, I'm going to come about an inch down. And if you can see that inch, yep. I have exactly an inch there. Okay. And I put it on the center. I already went ahead and I put a new bobbin, and the bobbin is a white thread. And then I put my, this is a 100% cotton. Yeah, this is a 100% cotton Gutterman thread, and I switched it, and it's my pink thread. So now I'm going to go ahead and come on the side and sew this along. Just sew the square. And again, this is an iron-on tag, but I still want to sew it. So once that I have it all sewn, I am going to go in and press it. I don't want to press it before because the needle is going to gum. If I do it like that, the needle is not going to get gummy. And I'm going to come just right at the edge because I'm going to pull it from the back. Okay, and instead of cutting it, I'm just going to like lift my needle. Okay, and then I'm just going to pull it so I can go ahead and take it from the back. So now from the back, I'm going to lift it a little bit, and there it is. And then I just want to pull it to the back. I have two now. Let's see. Up. I'm missing one. And it's on the side. So I'm going to go ahead and find it and pull it. There it is. There it is. There we go. And I brought it all the way to the front. Okay. And now I am just going to like make a little knot with those. There you go. And I like to put them all in the center. And I'm going to get a little bit of, I'm going to get my pink masking tape, and I'm going to put a piece right there. And I say pink, but you really can get it in any color. I just always get it pink because I love it. I love pink. There you go. And I just seal it across. So what I'm going to do next is that I'm going to go ahead and fold that really nicely. Okay. And I am going to fold the ends as well. This is a very small pocket. I'm going to go to the sewing machine, and I'm going to press a border up in both sides, and then I'll be back. So as you can see, I just press it, fold it in. So there's the tag. So now I'm going to kind of put that fold like that. Oop. Actually in. That's what in means, not this way. I folded to the wrong side, so let me fix that. Yikes. Okay. And I am going to use some clips to hold it in place. So the reason I am doing this is because when I fold it and I sew it, it's going to give me an already folded rim, and it's going to look really nice for the pocket. This is an inside pocket. We still want it to look beautiful. You know that. Okay, so that's that. Okay, and now you have the interfacing on the other side. So let's go ahead and sew down. And I'm going to sew the whole thing, and I'm going to sew here a little bit, just leaving a little bit of an aside. Let's see if it broke it. Okay, it did. Okay. Okay, so I am gonna make a little cut in the corner here, and the same in all the other corners, just a little bit, just so it can turn really nicely. Make sure you don't snip your stitches when you do that. Okay, so now that I did that, I'm gonna go ahead and turn it. Let's turn this pocket. This is cotton, so it turns really nicely. Okay. Make sure you poke those little corners out nicely. Nice. Okay. So take it into to your iron. It looks so cute. Take it to your iron and flatten it out, so you can be able to sew across really nicely. Okay. The interfacing is making it a little tough, so I just want to fix it with the iron. Okay. Okay, so now I want you to take. So we have our pocket. I want you to take one of your sides, one of your linings. Okay, and this lining has all these extra. Let's go ahead and clean that very quickly so it looks really nice. And we know it's a line, basically. I would say I didn't do a beautiful cut there before, so I just want to clean it out. Okay, Nice. Okay, let's do the same to both. Let me see. This one is pretty good. It just needs that one corner. That's okay. Okay, so I'm going to take one of my sides. We're going to do this to both. I want to kind of bring it to the center. And I'm going to cut. I'm going to snip a top in the center. I'm going to take a little square, tiny little square, just so I can mark my center. And go ahead and mark your centers for everything. Okay, for the two pieces. Okay, and I'm gonna put my pocket on this one. So now that I have that, I'm gonna go ahead and take the ruler through the center. So I'm gonna match center to center. And I think I want to put my pocket at the 3-inch mark. Okay, so just about there. I'm gonna find that center. I'm gonna hold it right there. And for this, I'm gonna need some pins. There we go. Okay, so I am going to go to the machine and then I'm going to sew it across and up. And then I'll have my pocket done. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. So go ahead and put your piece in there. And I am sewing at about 1/4 inch. I'm going to do a back stitch so it can stay secure and go. There we go. Okay, oh, it looks so beautiful. So it actually came out really nice, and it's a good size pocket. It's a little inside pocket to put a couple of things. I have to say I really like where I put my tag. So that's that. Let's go ahead and get the front two pieces and the front and back, and then the lining, the two linings, so we can be able to put the zipper on. Okay. So I have my front, my two lining pieces, and now I'm gonna get my two front and back pieces. Notice that the lining is a lot longer, and it's because some of this is gonna be part of the bottom. So it kind of makes it that the one piece runs all the way to the bottom, and then we're just gonna sew at the bottom. So, but we're not there yet. But that's how it's going to be. That's why it's a little bit longer. So let's go ahead and do the zipper. Go ahead and grab your zipper. And I am going to put it, take one side. And we are going to put it looking down. and we're gonna secure it in place. For this bag, I want to make sure this goes all the way down. So I'm going to put the zipper in a little bit because I'm not going to close it yet. I want it to be very level, so it's okay. So just put your zipper tape where it goes. And now take one of your front sides, one of your linings, not front, and lay it on top and secure it in place. Okay, let's go ahead and sew that across. I'm gonna check it. Looks pretty. And after I sew it across, there it goes. Because I'm using a pink thread, I am gonna do my top stitch on the lining, okay, rather than on the main zipper. Typically, so if it kind of bunches up a little bit, it's okay. Just because of the type of fabric, I want to do it on the other side. Okay, so let's do that. And actually bring with you the other two pieces so we can put them together, and your zipper pull. Okay, I am sewing at 1/4 of an inch. Guys, and if you put the zipper, the feet at the like side to side to the zipper pull, and based on the amount of space to the edge of the fabric, that would be exactly 1/4 of an inch. So just an idea that it will help you. So if you don't have a way to measure it, or it's a little stressful to measure it, that may be a nice way for you to know, oh wait, that's 1/4 of an inch. Okay, you can measure it and check it out, and unless you have a humongous zipper tape like white, this one is about 1 inch in width total, including the center piece of the zipper. For those that are new to sewing, notice how I am kind of moving the fabric with me because it stretches a little bit, and I want to make sure it's settling where it needs to. So also guide your fabric. Okay. And that looks beautiful. So I'm going to turn it over, and then I'm going to take that zipper back, that fold, I'm going to take it back, and then I'm going to top stitch on the lining. But I'm going to go the other way because I like my zipper to be right on that edge, not my foot. There you go. So I'm going to put my other hand under to make sure. Just a little. And I do want to pull on the main fabric to make sure it's not getting caught under. let's check it out. And it looks so nice. Okay, so we didn't do it on the front, but by doing it in the back, when we open the back, it's just not going to get caught on anything, and it matches the thread, so it's going to be pretty. And the back has its own kind of body a little bit, which is always nice. It's nice to have that little body on the fabric. I like that, kind of covering the zipper just a touch, not too much, just a touch. Okay, see how it's going to look. So I am going to put my zipper pull, I'm going to sit it on the center just so that way it's not going to get caught or lost in the way. And so let's do that right now. I'm going to go ahead and also, so I don't forget, because I could potentially forget to put it, and I would be so upset. So make sure you're matching your teeth. It's just nice. There we go. And now I'm going to push it with my nail. It's a little too okay. There we go. Perfect. So now I have a perfect match. Okay, so I'm going to write it to the center, and that looks great. And now I'm going to put the other sides. So let's put that top piece here. I like the big flower to be looking up, but actually it goes like this. So I'm going to put it like that. It is actually on the center. So I'm going to hold it. And the other side. Okay, and now I am going to put that beautiful lining that we did, turn it over, and we're going to put it on the center. So this was my center piece. Oops, oh no. Okay. You know, it gets a little heavy when it comes to the pull, so I want to make sure it's not pulling. Okay. There we go. Okay. Find the zipper tape, and again, I tell you, just make sure that feels make sure the zipper is there, that it hasn't pushed out or something. And I am actually approaching the zipper pull, so let me lift the pedal, the foot, and push it out of the way. There we go. Just a little bit. Just enough to get it out of the way, but not too much. Okay. Okay, beautiful. Oh, gorgeous. It's the word. Okay, I'm gonna take the lining. Whoops, sorry. Okay, I'm gonna take the lining and I'm gonna go ahead and I like to do it the other way, so I gotta turn it. I love to sew on the right side. I feel my stitches are better. Everything is good. Everything falls where it's supposed to. So this is something that is happening, and it's good for you to know it. Right now we are sewing a lot faster, so my fabric is pulling a little bit. I raised the speed of the machine, and you know what? I need to lower it because my hand cannot. This hand is weak. I have a weak right hand, and I have, as you can see, three good fingers on the left, and I need to control the speed because I can't go fast enough. My hands can't go fast as the machine. Sometimes I can if it feels steady, but if all of a sudden I lose control of the machine, I'm not able to take it back. So I have to kind of play with that speed. And I really love it, I have to say, that I can do that. Oops. Okay. Really love that I can do that, but sometimes it's tricky for me. No, it's not the same for everybody, but sometimes when learning, it is. So see, I lost control of my hand, and it went down a little bit, which is like a wah wah, you know, but that's okay. It's still beautiful. Okay, so with that being said, let's go to the main table so we can see what comes next. Okay, and actually I can do it here. Let me bring this back a little bit. So what I am going to do next is that I'm going to take the two ends right here, and then I'm going to sew these two together. Okay, and I had kind of marked the centers. Okay, so let's go ahead and sew these two together. And because we are binding the sides, we actually don't need to leave an opening on the bottom to turn it. We're going to leave the zipper on top, and everything is going to be done through the main zipper. Let me just say, I thought about this bag, and it's the first time I do it, so but I am feeling 99.9% that that's how I'm going to close it. Because that is how I see it on my head. So I think it's going to work. Okay? I believe it's gonna work. So I want you to get your bottom, okay, the bottom piece that we are missing. So I want you to bring that piece to the machine. Okay, so the next thing we are gonna do is that we're gonna put the bottom on. As I was looking at the bag is gonna have this strap on the sides, and it's gonna have a little bit, it's gonna look like that. So it's gonna look really nice. It's gonna be more like a bag that you can put across your chest. And I think it's gonna look a little cleaner, nicer. So that's how it's gonna go. Okay. So with that being said, the next thing I do, I went ahead and I took my lining and I put it on the center, kind of following the zipper. So take the zipper and join the zipper with this center piece right there. Okay. Kind of here together. They're not quite center. So let me fix it. Okay. And I am going to hold it one more time over and over. The idea of what I'm doing here is I'm just getting it out of the way, basically. Okay, so I'm just getting that out of the way. And that's good. I'm going to turn this over. I am going to put the bottom now. So we are going to line this one with the bottom. And we are going to secure it with clips. And then we are going to go to the machine and sew it together. So I want you to go ahead and secure that right there, and then you're going to take it to the other side and you're going to secure these ones together as well. Okay. Very nice. So basically, as you see, we are making the little roll, and then we are going to put the sides from the inside. So let's go to the machine and sew here and here, and so we can place that bottom underneath the bag. Okay. Okay, so let's go ahead and sew across. And again, I am sewing at a 1/4 inch. Okay, let's go to the table. Okay, before I get ready to do the sides, I want to go ahead and turn this and put it like it's supposed to go. Okay, so what I'm going to do is that I'm going to go ahead and open my bag, but be careful. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and bring it over completely. Look at that. Okay. Beautiful. Oh, so happy. And see how that's the bottom of the bag. Okay. So what I'm going to do from here is that I'm going to turn it, but I'm not, see how I'm not messing with the zipper. I'm leaving the zipper closed. The reason I'm doing that is that I want to keep it closed because it's still not sewn at the ends. Okay, so I don't want to mess with that. I'm going to take this and I'm going to bring them in and just basically turn it over. There we go. Okay. And let's fix the whole thing. Oh, that looks so nice. Beautiful. So it actually fit perfect. So I'm really happy. It was a perfect fit. Very nice. And you have a little pocket there. Okay, but it's going to be like a round piece. So you have it there. Okay. What I am seeing is that the lining is a little bit thicker. So I may have to trim it out just a little bit. Just a tiny bit. So I may have to turn it over again to trim it, just so I can get the right size. I don't want to have an excess, so I'm not trimming the front. I am trimming the lining. Make sure that lining is not coming out as an excess. Let me see. So there it is, and I want to cut that. Okay, so where's my scissors? Here. So I'm going to trim it because when I put the side piece, I am not going below or behind the main piece. I'm just trimming the excess of the lining. Like I said, I'm not very strong on my right arm, so I need to, there you go. Okay. That looks better. Okay. And I did not cut from the main fabric, so the main fabric is the same size. I just cut that excess of pieces there of the interfacing and that lining excess. That's all I took out. Okay, very nice. Okay, that looks so much better, and I think it's going to be better because when I put my side piece, it's going to be right. So I'm just going to turn it over so I can have it ready for when I put the sides, and then we're going to get the sides, and so we can put that um, handle on. Okay, that looks nice. See how in the bottom you only have one line inside? I like that. Okay, let's keep that on the side now. Okay, so the next thing that we are gonna do is go ahead and put the pieces on the center, on the sides. So I'm gonna hold my lining to the side, and I'm gonna take my main fabric. I'm gonna fold it in half, each one of the pieces, and then just take a little snip out the top and mark your center there, and then mark your center. There you go. Okay, so I have the center for both, and then I'll do the same for the other side. Okay, and the other side. There we go. Okay, so what are we gonna do next is that I am gonna look at 2 inches down, and that's about there. So I am gonna mark my 2-inch center with a pin, and it's going to be right there, basically where it points. That's what I'm doing. So where it points is my center, and I'm going to do the same to the other one. 2 inches down on the center, center to center. So I do center to center, 2 inches down. That is my center. Okay, so again, center to center. They're not centered. Okay, to center. That is 2 inches. Okay, so you see how I use my pin to kind of like say, hey, here's the 2 inches. So now I am going to take my strap. I'll make sure the strap looks up. So look at your hardware and make sure the hardware is looking up. And I'm going to see how I made that kind of turn under. I'm going to put that under. And I had looked at what is the center of my strap. So on that fold that we made, that's going to be the rim of that, and I'm going to put it there. So one thing that you could also do, I want you to say, so for me, this is the center of the webbing, and I can see it because of the stitching. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lines, and I'm going to the center. And so I'm putting it right there, and I am taking that center to the upper center. So I'm going to try to center it as much as possible. There we go. Okay. And that looks about right. And then I'm going to go ahead and hold it in place. Okay. With that same pin, I lift and I just kind of go through the webbing to hold it in place. So I just want to see what I'm doing. So see how I took the pin and I went through the webbing and I hold it in place there. Okay, there you go. And that looks really nice actually. So I'm going to, before I go to the machine, I'm going to do the other side. So let's make sure that strap is in the right lane, meaning it's aligned correctly. And I'm going to do the same thing. Again, I can take one and I kind of look at the stitching of that and I say that's the center, and then I'm going to go ahead and put it in the middle and then put the edge to the rim of the other flower, and then I go ahead and again hold it in place. There you go. I have to feel that it holds it. There we go. This is the way I like to pinch sometimes, think things like this. Okay, there we go. So now it is aligned. They look really cute, and we're gonna take it to the machine to sew. Okay, so bring both and let's take them to the machine. So let's take one side first, and I'm gonna place it and sew. Okay, so there it is. And I just realized that I'm sewing on the Silurian, so I think I'm actually gonna change the color very quickly. Oh no, oh no. Okay, so I just changed the color of my thread. I'm gonna give it one more stitch over that and see if it changes it. Okay, that looks fine. That looks fine. Whoa. So actually, instead of fraying it, what I'm gonna do is that I am going to put a piece of masking tape. Just because it's hardware, I want to make sure it's being held good, okay? And I almost feel like I want to do one more line on top because this is going to hold the weight of the bag. Okay, so much better. And Nobody sees that, only you know it's there, but it holds the weight really nicely and it just helps you so the stitching doesn't break. Okay, that looks so much more secure. Okay, so I did 3 lines, 2 were almost red, so that's okay. The next one is going to be all blue, so it's going to be really nice. Okay. There you go. Okay, so I did the 3 lines. It looks really nice. I'm gonna turn it over and put my tape. You know what? It's not necessary, but being that we put 2 in the other side, I'm just gonna do the same and model it. Okay. That is wonderful. Okay, that looks beautiful. Okay, so what I'm gonna do next is that we have these pockets. So we are gonna take the pocket. I did clean the pocket. You remember earlier that I done it and I had sewn in the wrong line, so I went ahead and cleaned that nicely. So now it's not there. So we are gonna take one of those pockets and we are gonna put it to the end. So we're gonna line it at the end. There we go. And we are gonna secure it in place. Okay, oh, that looks so pretty. Look at that. And it has a cute pocket. And the inside has a pink lining, which is really cute. Okay, let's do the same to the other side. Make sure you put the sewn part to the top and then bring it to the bottom. Align it nicely. Secure it in place. And sew it. Okay. Okay, gorgeous. Very nice. Very nice. Okay, and we have again that pink inside. Okay, the next thing you are going to do is you are going to get your lining and you are going to put it looking down like this. Okay, and we are going to match it. So you can go ahead and fold it and kind of take a little snip to the center. Okay. So you know where your centers are and do it to the both pieces. Okay, there you go. And now I'm going to go ahead and put it looking up. So back to back, put them together, and you are going to go ahead and pinch them together. And do the same to the bottom. Pinch them together. And then along the sides. For those of you that are new to sewing, using the clip to the, so I see the flat part, I know I'm going to put it like that when I'm sewing. Okay, so it's more like a visual guide for me. I believe that's how you're supposed to use them. The intention of that, because then it writes flat on the machine, which is nice. Okay, so I'm going to go all the way across. And so go ahead and do both sides. So I did my one side and it's all secure. So I want you to do both sides. So I'm going to put my other piece there. And hold it in place. I have to tell you, I'm really excited about this pattern because it's going to be fun. It's a really nice gym bag because it's not too big. It's not too big, it's not too small, it's just right. I mean, unless you carry like a lot of stuff to the gym. But I typically have just like small things like my towel, my and my little supplies that I need for when I go to depending on what I need to do. It's just going to be a really nice size for those kind of things. Or if your kiddo needs a small but practical bag, this is just the perfect pattern for that, for the sports. If you have a little ballerina, this is just the perfect bag because you don't take, you have your little shoes and the little skirt, maybe the bun stuff, and so it's just gonna see, the size is gonna be right, and depending on what fabric you use, you can make it just be super adorable for those of you that have kids or are making it for children. So I encourage that you make this bag, and if you like it and you modify it a little bit, or if you like it, you can sell it. I'm happy with that. I'm showing you how to make it here. What I would ask, if you could like and subscribe to my channel. I would love to continue to make more patterns and things that are simple, simple patterns so you can learn how to sew, but also they can be like super practical for you. With that being said, I would ask that you like and subscribe, and that would be the only thank you that I would want from you. Thank you so much. Okay, let's go ahead and sew this. Oh, and before I go, I'm going to take this off because the fabric on the back is very bright pink. So I want to switch the fabric to the white and pink. So I am actually going to make a bobbin with the same color of this. I don't have a bobbin this color, so I'm going to do that. Give me 1 second. Okay, so I put it all together and I'm going to go ahead and sew it in. I changed the bobbin to the pink and this thread that it has a multicolor a little bit. So I'm sewing at 1/4 of an inch still. Okay, so it's starting to get a little bulky. I'm hoping my machine is going to be okay with that. I'm going to go ahead and cut all the excess. So as you can see, I'm not cutting over the blue or the main fabric. I'm just cutting over the bottom one because that is my excess. Okay. Okay, that looks good. And it is sealed from the back and it's sealed from the front. Let's do the other side. Okay. I almost pinched my fingers. Be careful. Okay, again, I'm gonna clean the sides, not cutting on my main fabric, but cutting the excess underneath. Okay, still on the bottom. Okay, wonderful. So that looks good. Let's go to the main table and untangle this. Okay. Okay, so the next thing that is going to happen, let's go ahead and put this right. Okay. Because it is important that it's not tangled. So I am going to bring it closer a little bit. Okay. So now we are going to put it to our main piece. So we are going to get that main piece. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this over. Okay. And then I'm going to bring it up and over. Okay. And what we are going to do is that we actually have to be, let's go through this. So we're going to go through and through. So the strap is inside, see? So the strap has to be inside. So yours must look like this. Okay, so the strap is inside in between the main fabric. And then your sides are there. We are going to take that little snip on the middle that we did there, and we are going to put it to the middle of the zipper. Okay, so push that strap down, and then you are going to use clips, and you are going to hold it in place. Okay, and when I sew it, I am going to go the other way, so I'm going to do it like that. Okay, so let's start with that, and let's do the same thing to the other side. So I'm going to put the center of my zipper with the little B piece that I had there. Okay, and for reference, we are going to go ahead and we didn't center our bottom, so let's go ahead and center it. So we're going to go side to side and then take a little snip at that center right there, and then let's do the same thing to the other side. So the center of the bottom piece to the center of the bottom, side to side to the bottom, like the stitching, stitch to stitch, and then cut a center. Okay, if you can see it there. Okay, so let's go ahead and mark your center on this piece as well. So do it, but don't cut on the stitching, just underneath the stitching. And the same thing with this. So you're basically marking your centers of everything. Okay, very good. And now we are going to go ahead and place the center to the center. Make sure you're grabbing everything there. And just hold it in place. Okay. This should match to your bottom. this piece, so the bottom part should match to the bottom. There you go, and it matches perfect. Good. Make sure you don't move too fast, and don't forget to open the zipper. So open the zipper a little bit there. Now that we did that, we can open there. So here on the curve, let me go ahead and secure that side. Okay. So on the curve, I'm gonna go ahead and do little snips, making sure I don't cut my stitching that I had done before. Okay. Go all the way, and you're doing it on the piece. And I'm gonna push it in, because you may think, oh, how is this gonna fit, right? So you're gonna push it in, like to the inside here. Ay! No, I loosened the zipper. Don't be afraid to do too many snips. Okay. There we go. The more snips you do, the more it settles in place. There we go. I kind of have to push it in because now that I loosen it, the zipper loosened up. So let me fix this zipper very quick. Okay, come up. Get together there. If your zipper doesn't want to stay in place, I can always do a hand stitch to secure it. Okay, that's something that I would do. So my zipper is acting up, so I am going to, and this is a nice look at when things don't work just the way you plan them. Bam, this is the kind of thing you do. So it's gonna work, you're gonna see. Ay, these fingers, okay. Sometimes I just want a little more patience. Okay, come on. Come on. There you go. Okay, I got it. So I am just going to go ahead and bring these two together right here a little bit. Not too much that it takes it away. Just kind of level it. That's all I want. That's it. All I want to do is make sure that there you go. They're not trying to become separated. This is going to be sewn in, so we're really not going to see this, but I have to do that. There you go. So I can secure it because it is opening and it may mess the ending of the closure, and I don't want that to be ruined. There you go. That's it. So as you can see, I did a tiny little stitch there, and all it did was close that. So now I'm not going to have any trouble on that zipper. Also, it's not going to go anywhere. So let's carry on and continue. So I'm going to go ahead and continue snipping across here. And like I say, it's just like you can never say too much, right? Is that how the expressions say? I don't know. It's like I just need smaller scissors. But they're in the other table. Let me get them. Okay, much easier. Okay, let's try to put it together. Okay. So again, I'm going to lower it a little bit. There we go. Okay. So I am going to do the other side and then I'll go to the machine. It's a lot easier. Now, because I closed that zipper, make sure you open that zipper again. Okay. And if you have to do that same stitching I did in the other side, I think maybe we can go ahead and do it very quickly because I anticipate the same thing is going to happen. So centers. Okay, there you go. So I'm just going to close this together very quickly. Maybe I could have done that in the machine before I carry on, but sometimes when I'm doing the videos, I'm trying to move a little fast, so it's a little hard sometimes, but you could like maybe just kind of go back and forth with the machine, but this works as well. And see, nobody can see that. And that's a perfect closing. Okay, so that's done. So the zipper is open, okay? And we are going to go ahead and put that other piece. Let's make sure the strap is aligned before, because I moved it and now I don't know. Okay, it is aligned. And I'm going to go ahead and put the centers. Okay. It's not in the center. So basically you want to align that bottom with the bottom, bottom to bottom, bottom to bottom. Okay. There we go. And then secure it in place. There you go. Okay. Let's go to the side. And the other side. Okay. And now I'm gonna push that in, and then I'm gonna snip across this one. I need to be able to see the stitching so I don't mess it up. You know, it's okay. I like it to be a little crunchy looking. There you go. But it should sit pretty good. see how it fits. Okay. Hmm. Okay, right there. Well, I'm gonna go with that. It looks like I could have made it a little shorter, but I think I could push it a little more to open. Okay, let's go ahead and sew it now, okay? Okay, so we are going to go ahead and sew it, see how it comes up. Make sure the strap is not going to get in the way. So maybe we need to hold it in the middle somehow. I'm going to pinch it here and see. Just don't want it to get in the way. So let's see how it goes. Okay, I'm going to start at the bottom and just give it my best wishes. Okay, let's hope for the best. Okay. So I want to make sure I don't pinch the fabric here. There we go. So we're going to get in that turn. I'm going to push it a little bit as I go. Okay. We made it all the way around. It's a little scrunched there, just a little bit. Let me see how that looks from the inside. Oh, it actually looks nice. It doesn't look bad at all. Oh no, so it's not, it didn't take all of it. So I need to fix that. So I'm gonna give it a second round because it didn't really take right there. And I'm gonna mark it where, which is right there. Okay. So I'm gonna give it a second round. And I'm gonna go the other way. Well, so it did sew a little better from that side, so I think I'm gonna do that for the other side. Let me go ahead and turn it and make sure that catched. Yikes. Cheese and crackers. It just didn't. Didn't take this corner. Where was it? Here. Oh my goodness, it didn't take the whole corner. So this corner ended to. Why does it do that sometimes? Okay. So this corner didn't catch. Okay. And this corner here didn't catch. Okay, let's do it again. One more time, it goes. You know what? I'm going to take this out to write it easier. I mean, you better catch now. Okay. I mean, I don't see a reason why it wouldn't have catch, but I need to look at it. So let's see. I'm gonna do that by hand because that's so little. Well, maybe not. I'll do it by machine. Let me see. Okay, that's good. And finally it catched it. Okay, let's catch this corner one more time. And then that should be it for that side. Oops, sorry. Okay. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna trust that it's good. So, the next thing we're gonna do before I do the other side is that I am gonna clean the excess. There's a lot of it, and I'm gonna put binding on this, and I really don't want to deal with excess. So okay, and the bottom part. Okay, that looks nice. It looks clean. On the other side looks gorgeous. Okay, I am gonna go ahead and do the other side now. Okay, you ready? And I'm gonna do it the other way. It actually sewed better like this, so I'm gonna do it like that. Not complaining, but sometimes it's a little hard with these little fingers. Okay. Okay. There we go. And I think this is why I'm gonna do one more turn. Okay, let's look at it very quick to make sure there's no same thing that happened to the other side happened here. This is closed, this is closed. Beautiful. Oh, so happy. Okay, perfect. Ah, it's perfect. Okay, yes. So let me take the excess, and then we are going to go to the table so we can put the binding on. Okay. Oh, I'm so happy. No issues. Okay. Okay, so let's go to the table and then we're going to do the binding. Okay. Okay, so it looks great. Let's go ahead and turn it just for our mental. Let's see how it looks, kind of thing. Okay. Oh, it looks adorable. It has a little je ne sais quoi, right? Is that a nice way to say it? I don't know. Oh, look at that. It looks adorable. And the handle is so cute. I'm just gonna just snip those off. Oh, this bag is gonna be gorgeous. So the last thing that is missing is basically, oh, I am loving this bag. And the strap is so long. Let me raise it a little bit. So, oh, it is beautiful because when you close it, it looks like that. You still have a little basket on, like a little pocket on the side. So let's put the binding on this because I am so excited to use it. It is going to be lovely. This is such a lovely bag. Okay, I feel like I can still push it a little more, but with the binding is going to give it a little bit more structure on the sides. So I'm happy. And when you open it, it's so spacious and you have that little tiny pocket there. And that's all you need because remember, we're talking about a gym bag. We need space when we talk about gym bag. So this is great. Let's go ahead and turn it over and put the binding on. Okay. Turn it. It's a little bit hard, but we got this. Okay, we're almost done. Just about. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to move the zipper a little bit to the edge so that way it's not in the way. There we go. And go ahead and grab your binding. So when I did my binding, I'm going to tell you the measurements of the binding are on the description of the page. But the binding, I did cut at 35.5 times 2 inches. So this is 2 inches in width. And then I did cut 35.5. Okay. Let me grab my clips and we're going to put it all together. Okay. So just go ahead and grab one of the sides and you can start wherever. I'm going to go ahead and fold down first. Okay, just a little bit. And then I hold. So it's already folded. I wonder if I could just fold and go. Let me see. Might be able to. So that way I don't bulk the seam. I could. So I already had folded. I just need to make sure that when I sew, I am looking at it to make sure it catches everything really nicely, okay? So I'm putting it like this. I know that you typically sew the one side and then sew the other. I'm gonna do it like this because I see how it looks perfect on both sides. I want to have one stitch on it. Now you have a choice here. Some people like to put their binding by hand. That is a choice. Sometimes I do that when I don't feel it's gonna look just the way I want to. But at this point, I am going to do it with a machine because I am ready to, I want to make sure that I can use this bag right away. So when I sew by hand, I need a little more time. So again, depending on the fabric that you choose to make this bag, you could oh, it looks gorgeous. It looks perfect. So I am going to take a snip right there. and fold that piece in. There we go. Okay, I want to make sure it is secure very good. Everything looks good. And I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. Okay. I'm just going to place it like I did in the other side. It looked nice, and I think it's going to be fine. Okay. And you have to fold it. After this is the last thing we need to do. I feel that it met my expectations, this bag. I hope it met yours. The bag is technically a simple bag, but it is really beginning intermediate. It is intermediate only because of this binding and the way we place the side. But I feel like it would be a nice challenge if you're learning how to sew and you just want to give yourself a little bit more of a challenge. This would be a nice idea to work on. Okay. Besides that, it's a very simple bag to put together. It shows you how to do the strap, and this is a simple strap that it attaches to both sides, and once attached to the bag you cannot remove. So it's a different kind of strap. You could make one that you remove, but the difference is the amount of hardware that you put on it. I did not want it to put too much hardware. I want to keep the bag light, but also I want to make it cost effective when it comes to if I were to sell it, or if you were to sell this bag. I want to make sure it's cost effective. So you could technically have only one piece of hardware, which is the one that grows and makes the hardware makes the bag small or big, and then just have that one, and then not have the sides, and then attach it to the bag directly with the webbing. So just from the webbing, attaching it to the bag, and that's it. And that would actually save you a lot, because all you have is the zipper tape, which I feel is less expensive than buying a piece of tape, a piece of zipper already pre-done, and then a zipper pull, and the hardware for the side, for the strap. Okay, so overall you can actually do it for a really good price, and it's up to you how many pockets are you going to put inside. But depending on that actually will determine if you are increasing or decreasing the price of the bag, and because you had a lot more work on the sides. The other thing is that this is a Kona fabric, a Kona cotton. It's a really nice cotton. It's very soft. It's very nice. It washes nicely, and it irons really pretty. And then the inside is outdoor fabric, which is a little expensive typically, but I got it on a great sale. So let's go ahead and put that together with the machine, and then we come back and finish looking at our bag. Okay. Okay, so we are ready to put it together. I am going to be watching the binding that it doesn't move. And just so you know, since the bag is a little heavy, it kind of shifts that way. So you have to keep your hands on this bag so that way it doesn't do that. Okay, almost there. Okay, let's look at it. It's so all the way through. It looks good. Overall, it's good. Okay, let's do the other side. It's okay. No, no, no. They're jumping out by themselves. Okay. Let's see. Oh, that looks good. Okay. Oh, it is sealed. Yep, it's sealed. So happy. Okay, let me put this back. Let me put this back. Okay, let's go to the table. Okay, so the binding came out nice. It gave the bag some structure. See how it can stay up. So let's go ahead and turn it over. And I'm so happy. I really feel the bag is what I wanted to. The fabric is nice. There we go. So it has a nice handle. I am going to raise it here so you can see it. So it came out gorgeous, I feel. So look how nice it is. So to the lowest on the straps. So I put it to the lowest here. It sits like a nice sack to the hip, which is really nice. And then if you wanted to have it on your shoulder, you can actually fix that strap up and you can have a gorgeous basically tote bag. And I'm putting it there so you can see how beautiful this bag looks. So because it is a little soft, it has its firmness because of the binding and the type of fabric, but it's just soft enough. If I put it on my shoulder, you can see how I can have it as a purse or I can have it as a bag. So it is a great bag. I'm really happy. It met my expectations. So if you like this bag and you like what you did with it, you can also wear it a little higher so you don't have to go so low to the hip, which makes it really nice, like a traveling bag as well. So it's really cute. Okay, so if you like this bag and you like the pattern, I encourage that you like and subscribe my channel so I can keep making more. I'm going to keep making more patterns, and I hope you like it. So it came out beautiful. So I hope you subscribe and we can meet again.